welcome everyone to the August 22nd public hearing for the City of Tampa's Barrio Latino Commission. Welcome everyone. I'm Rich Simmons, Chair of the Commission. If you're here to present a project, you will have limited time to make your presentation, so we suggest being thorough but concise. When coming to the microphone, you will need to identify yourself and your relationship to the project. The commissioners will not ask any questions during your presentation. Your project should be presented in the following order: site plan, elevations, architectural details, wall sections. Staff presents staff report. We will then ask for public comment. Following your presentation, the commissioners will be asking questions in the same order as the presentation. Please state and spell your name clearly for the record. If you're here to speak for or against the project, because your time will be limited to 3 minutes. Take some time now to summarize your comments, because 3 minutes goes by pretty quickly. Following public comment, the applicant will have 5 minutes for rebuttal. The public hearing will then be closed. The only comments which will be allowed after the public hearing is closed will be in response to any questions from the commissioners. The commissioners will then discuss the case and will make their decision based upon the city ordinance, chapter 27 of the city zoning code, the design guidelines, the Secretary of Interior standards, design review comments, and the testimony given here today. The BLC can only act on items that are within our specific jurisdictional responsibility. Owner agents are independently responsible to obtain any appropriate permits and or approvals. If you haven't already done so, please silence your cell phone. We'll start with the introduction of the commissioners, starting on my left, please.
Liz Welch.
Leaving Wynn.
Roberto Torres.
And from staff, we have Dennis Fernandez, Ron Vila, Alexis Guzman, and Dana Crosby Collier from City Legal. Okay, you have in our packets, we have the minutes from the July 25th, 2023 meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from the July 25th, 2023 meeting.
Second.
All in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Fernandez.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dennis Fernandez, Architecture Review and Historic Preservation Manager. Welcome to this morning's public hearing, both to you, the public joining us, and our applicants. Just a brief announcement. We are finalizing the next calendar year of hearing dates and application cycles. That'll be provided to you just at the beginning of September in about a week. And so keep an eye on that, and then we'll remind you of that periodically in the first couple months as that becomes implemented. Lastly, I do have the staff reports for July 2023, which I'll be entering into the record, and you can make a motion at the end of the public hearing for that. With that, we'll switch over to the disclosure of conflicts of interest and ex parte communication with our legal counsel.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dana Crosby Collier from the City Attorney's Office. This morning, I would like to ask if any member of the Commission has a conflict of interest with any item on the agenda. Okay. Thank you. Has any member engaged in ex parte communication regarding any item on the agenda? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on, we do not have any continuations to act on this morning, but we will be administering the swear-in. So anyone in the audience who's going to be providing testimony or public comment this morning, if you could please stand and raise your right hand, including staff.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you'll be providing today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. With that, we are ready for our first case, and Mr. Vila will introduce that case.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ron Vila. I'm staff with Historic Preservation. The first agenda item is BLC 23-135. This is for the address of 1708 4th Avenue. Currently, it's a vacant parcel. The zoning attached to this parcel is YC7. They are requesting additional density on this parcel. In working with land development, that the request can move forward as presented. The request also is for a certificate of appropriateness for a duplex with some site improvements. On your staff report on page 3, you'll see a prior action that's taken place. In 2021, there was a primary structure with a detached accessory structure that was approved on site. There is a little bit of land left on this parcel that they wish to do the duplex, and that is the request this morning. So moving forward with the photo presentation, I'd like to start out with the 1929 Sanborn map. Area in question is highlighted in the green parcel. You see that there were two individual parcels at that time. This is 4th Avenue, which is the primary street that the structure is going to face. It is in between 17th Street and 18th Street, which is Angel Oliva Avenue. And there is a functional alley behind this that runs east and west and will play an important component in the success of this project moving forward. This is just the overall vicinity map showing the property in question and how it relates to the overall district of Ybor City. And it's down here in the green. This is an aerial that currently how it affects the area. It is an empty parcel, as I stated, on 4th Avenue in between 17th Street and 18th Street. This is just looking at the site from 4th Avenue. And another perspective showing the whole site from contributing structure to contributing structure. This is just the condition from the street, which has some parallel parking. You do have some granite curbing. You have the walkway, and then you have some curbing here and some vegetation as well. This is the abutting contributing structure to the west. This is the contributing duplex to the east. This is some street shots looking down 4th Avenue, once again showing the parallel parking that flanks the street. This is looking to the east and turn around to the west as it intersects 17th Street. Directly across the street, we have some opportunity for development. And just to conclude with the condition of the alley, and I believe that the agent and owner is going to address the alley and the conditions as it moves forward. So currently, this is looking in one direction and then towards the east. That concludes the photo presentation. At this time, the owner will address the board.
Good morning. I apologize that my architect could not present this morning, so please bear with me. This is, I'm not an expert, but I'm going to do my best. As Ron mentioned before, this is the site plan of the property that this commission approved. This is the site plan that this commission approved before. As you can see, this is the main residence. It has a pergola structure in the back with the over the garage apartment. The alley runs back here, and we have a driveway that comes into the parking structure here, along with the side pergola. The change that we're requesting is as such. You can see the main structure still remains. We are still developing the alleyway for access, but now we've included parking because this becomes multifamily. So we have adequate parking right behind the duplex unit, and we can still have the garage parking. And then this is the duplex that we hope to develop. So essentially, the changes are deleting the pergola structure and expanding the driveway to make it parking. That's suitable according to planning for this property. The duplex itself it is a two-story duplex where you enter in the front, then you have the one unit, and then you have a side entrance into the top, and they're both one-bedroom units. The roof will be a Galvalume of what is it, a 5E crimps roof, which is very similar to the other property. If the commission recalls, this is the approved structure as it is currently. You can see the side pergola is off to the top. We have the back area with plenty of fenestration. This is what was approved before. And this is how the two of them will relate currently. You can see it's following the same architectural style, but it's a much smaller and more compact unit. The porches line up even with the supporting structure next to it. And we're basically taking the same architectural style, but just trying to minimize it and get them all to pretty much read the same. The side elevations. Also, we're maximizing fenestration for natural light as much as possible. And you can see and then on the sides, we also have a trellis structure. Even though it's on slab, we're raising the slab up and we have the same reed with the same type of a trellis system. In section, this is a section through the front porch. You can see that it is a simple wood structure with insulation. The front porch will be a wood deck, and then the main structure itself will be a slab on grade. This further highlights, again, this is the porch with the slab on grade, and you can see the trellis system will be in between on the stem walls. So it will be recessed back and pretty much read the same as the approved structure. In terms of materials, this is kind of a reference for the colors that we hope to proceed with white on all of the trim work and the light blue, probably with a darker blue door similar to this one. The fencing in between the two projects, again, this was approved before by this commission, is this picket fence that's just open, and it's just going to enclose the area between the two buildings. And this is a picture of the trellis of the grading that we're going to use on the base. That's going to go right onto the CMU walls. And this is a picture of the 5E crimp galvalume roof that we hope to use. And I think that's kind of everything that I'm supposed to say.
Great, thank you, Mr. Velo.
Commissioners, good morning. Ron Velo. Staff's finding this application is consistent with the Ybor City Design Guidelines. We reviewed the plans that were submitted on June 29th, 2023, and the conditions attached to your staff report on page 3. I'd like to go through some of those items with you at this time. The first bullet item is the elevation from grade and the setback. On the site plan, it was illustrated that it would be in line with the abutting structures and the structure that was approved prior. And then he did show a side elevation that it showed that the structure appears to be on piers, and the elevation is consistent with the prior approval. If he could elaborate when the time is right on the condition of the alley, and if he's working with right-of-way, and what is the discussion taking place to educate the board at this time. He had showed the fence on the site plan. He needs to illustrate where that fence is going to be. He did show that it was a wood fence, approximately 4 foot in height, but the location should be illustrated. If there's any additional walkways or hardscape on the property, that would be indicated on the site plan as well. And if he could go through the wall section one more time from the ridge to the foundation to call out all the materials. Lastly, if he could show the rear elevation. We had some concerns that there wasn't any fenestration on the rear elevation, and if he could address that too. That concludes staff's portion at this time, and I'll be here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Velo. Is anyone here from the public wishing to comment on the case? We'll start with some questions for you. Liz, you want to start? Okay.
Could you put up your site plan? Thank you. And could you, I think I see where the fence line is going, but could you just kind of, for the record, kind of just go over where the fencing is on the plan?
The fence line is just going to go here, and then on the side, if necessary. But primarily, this is going to be here, and we haven't really fully worked out yet with the neighbor where it's going to go here. But let's assume for this time that it's going to go in between the two structures, run here, and then run the length of the property next to us.
Okay, so there's no fence that runs like north-south between the two buildings?
No.
Okay, it's just, and then for the new duplex that's being constructed, is the the AC units, are they gonna be in the back of the building? Is that what the,
We are actually thinking that they might be in between or off to the side, but I would like to talk to this neighbor first. But they will be behind the fence or in the back.
okay. And let's see, and then just look at the site plan as well. So the extended driveway, that's the only hardscaping that will be on the property?
Yes, there will be steps leading up to the front porch, of course, but the only hardscaping will be from the alley and then the parking in the rear.
Okay, so there's nothing in between, like leading up to the gate of the fence or anything like that? You're not planning
No,
on
there's
pavers or
nothing leading
anything?
up to this fence. We will probably have trash storage in this area as well to get close access, but that will be a permeable paver situation, if anything.
Let's see. And then could you bring up your elevations, one of the side ones?
The side elevations?
Yes, please. And so then just looking at the foundation there, just going over the trellis details, so what we see, we see like the 4 piers, so those stick out, right? And then the trellis fits in between them? Didn't quite
Yes.
catch that detail. Okay, fantastic. And then could you bring up the rear elevation so we can kind of look at the windows? Okay, so we have 2 large windows in the back there. Okay.
Like bedrooms.
Yeah, the bedroom. All right, just wanted to kind of catch that, understand that. Let's see, was there anything else I have to talk about? And then, just as Ronnie kind of mentioned, can you pull up that wall section and maybe let's go from, all the way from the foundation, all the way up to the roof, and just kind of go over all the materials and everything that from,
This is the wall section that primarily looks at the base, and then this is the entire wall section. Would you like to start with one in particular, or?
let's go with the one that kind of calls out a little more of the foundation at the base, and we can move our way up.
So again, this shows the foundation with the stem wall, and then it's on fill, and in between the piers, we're going to have this trellis recess. So this area behind it will probably be just blacked out with a white trellis in the front to match the rest of the trim on the property.
And then we have our slab on grade, and then you said, so the entire duplex is wood framed, right? So now can we go to
Correct.
the
Correct.
overall wall section? And then you don't have a blown up like window detail or anything, do you? For that?
I should. I believe this is the best we can do for right now.
Okay. Was the previous structure that was approved on the west, was that also a fully wooden structure as well?
No,
Okay.
that's a high-performance SIP system.
Okay, is it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, structurally insulated panel system.
Right. And so, but then the the windows in this would be sort of set the same way as
It would be,
is in the
yes.
building
Yes.
adjacent to it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's my questions for now. Thank you.
No questions.
I have a couple for you. So, materials, it's all hardy board cladding,
Yep.
on the insulation with dense deck going all the way down. You kind of threw me for a loop with the piers and the lattice work in there. So, you have a stem wall that's consistent, and then are you building up the piers with like brick? And then infilling between with the trellis, the
Yes.
lattice work?
Yes. The piers will just step forward with the trellis being recessed onto the CMU wall. So the piers will just kind of protrude a little bit forward. It will
Okay.
likely be stuccoed, and then the
So
trellis.
it's stucco, it's not brick, it's not brick.
No, at this moment, we're just thinking about finishing it and then painting it out.
Okay, but you're gonna have your siding go lap over the top of it and
Yes.
everything, so,
Yes.
okay. Mr. Nguyen talked about like you can bring up your site plan, let's jump into that. Your parking is on the rear these are 2 tenant units, let's say, right?
Yes.
So, they're gonna park on the 2 right-hand spots.
Correct.
And then you're probably gonna keep the other one just for you, and then you
Yes.
have access to the garage. So you may wanna, and both the front doors to the unit are out in the front, so you're gonna be making them kind of walk from the parking spaces through the property to the front. They're not gonna
Yes.
go around, so you may wanna consider a small sidewalk there to, through the
Or-
gate or something
or
like
a
that.
step-
It's pretty
Or a
minor.
step paver system or something like that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, pavers are better. Could you talk about what you're doing with with that parking situation? The city of Tampa Transportation has reviewed the 3 parking spaces there. They're okay with that
So far, yes.
so far? They tend to change their mind over time. Could you also talk about your plan for the alley? Some of the pictures that we saw looked like it was kind of overgrown a little bit, and that's
Yes.
not all your responsibility, but I think that paver
We're-
needs to be.
I'm actually working very closely with the neighbors, and it's going to be it's just going to be a ribbon driveway, very similar to what's on the other side of Angel Olivia. So the same ribbon will follow in between, then these properties will have their parking, et cetera, feeding off of it. There will be gravel in between up until the end of my property, so ribbons with gravel in between.
And are you required to, the alley that we see there, or is that your responsibility, taking it all the way to the street end?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's good. We talked about sidewalk, alignment's good.
One of the things that, and if you went over it, I missed it, the things that we've got identified on the back of our staff report, your doors, your windows, your lighting, hardware, color, that kind of thing. I don't know that you talked about that, and I'm assuming it's gonna complement what's already there. But if you could just touch on that for the record.
Yes, it's going to be similar and match the main house, and we will work very closely with Ron and with staff to make sure that it is historically appropriate. I do not have a picture of the hardware that we presented, but it is a traditional light fixtures that's going to be in the front just to welcome home.
Okay.
And we will work very closely with staff to make sure that that's appropriate.
Thank you.
Could you talk about any lighting around the building or on the site to light the parking area and the pathway?
At this moment, the only light that we thought about would be a light by the garage that will provide some lighting in the back and lighting in the front of the houses. We haven't fully developed yet the access point, but it will be appropriately lit. If there's any renters that's going to be in there, we want to make sure that they feel safe and secure, and it will be appropriately lit. But at this moment, we're only thinking about lighting off of here onto the structure, and then lighting the front of the buildings and the porches.
And then the lighting at the front of the duplex, what kind of lights are you using there?
Just a downlight for the front door. It's not going to project out, so it's
like a-
just going to be like a side light, likely next to the door, just that lights up the porch.
All right, great, thank you.
Can we, oh, sorry, can I jump in?
Go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Is that okay, Rich? Thanks. Okay, one more question about the sidewalk, and I'm sorry, we keep talking about the sidewalk. So you're gonna have, you're looking to do pavers, so to Rich's point, I think it was, whoever lives in the duplex has to go from the parking structure in the back to walk all the way around to get in through the front door.
Yes.
And you're looking to use pavers of some sort to create a walkway
Yes.
for them?
Yes.
How much space, I can't read it, how much space is between the main house and the duplex?
This space is approximately 10 feet according to fire code,
Okay,
if I remember correctly. I don't know if
Okay.
it's shown on here.
okay. And I think somebody piped in and said you may want to, I don't know if you've ever considered a door, any type of doorway on the side, maybe entering into the kitchen, I don't know. I don't know if you've ever considered that. But I look at it from, if I live there and I park in the back, and then I gotta traipse through the yard carrying my groceries or my stuff, and then I gotta walk all the way around to the front. Just a
understand.
thought.
Yeah.
That you may want to consider for convenience of whoever the tenant is that lives there. I'm assuming it's a tenant.
Hopefully, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you just may want to consider that, especially since you don't have any lighting. You're not, if I understood correctly, you're not talking about lighting in there. So I would be carrying all my stuff and traipsing across the yard / pavers in the dark.
Yes,
So just a thought.
understood.
And I have one question for staff, Mr. Vila. On previous actions, on 9/28/2021, it says in the reports preliminary approval with conditions, but I think that they received a final for the primary structure. So I just want to kind of put that on the record, that they do have a final on that, and we're not reviewing that at all. This case is just for the
That's
accessory
correct. As my, I led into my introduction, I referred to that date, and that was final approval, with a vote of 5-0 for the new construction that was a single-family structure at the time, with the accessory structure in the rear. Just to clarify as well, the accessory structure will not be a dwelling unit, it's just a bonus room, so they're gonna end up with 3 units on this parcel. And that's why the 3 parking spots, to meet code.
Is the accessory dwelling that you talked, is that a garage?
garage with a bonus
The
room.
garage is here with the mother-in-law suite on top of it.
Okay, and how are you accessing into the garage?
Through the garage door, which is right here, and then the mother-in-law suite has a door off the alley.
So you have parking, you have 3 parking spots with the potential of 4 people living there.
It's not
Am I,
a
am I
dwelling
missing
unit.
something?
It's actually for my mother.
Oh, okay, that explains it
She
now.
doesn't drive.
She doesn't drive, apparently.
Actually, she does not.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I just wanted to make sure that it aligned up right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, so we're gonna close the public hearing. You have a few moments if you want to summarize any comments of things that we've discussed.
No, just thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the work you guys do. You guys are the reason why we want to be in Ybor. Thank you.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and close the public hearing. We can have discussion among ourselves. Mr. Torres?
No, I think it was pretty self-explanatory, I think. Deleting the pergola from the main structure to the other structure kind of like opens it up a little bit, so it doesn't look like it's, you know, if I was renting that apartment, I'm like, I'm living here too, you know? So that was a smart move, and then, you know, parking is, you know, a commodity, so it's, I think that was smart.
I think there's certain great things about the project, that they're improving like the existing context of Ybor, like improving the alley, that kind of stuff is all fantastic. I think there's obviously some details that that the applicant needs to work out with staff. If they're installing the pavers, lighting for the building, you know, final color, door hardware, that type of stuff, that kind of stuff can be worked out with staff, and yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I really like the project. You know, I think the original primary structure was a nice design with the garage in the back, and I think it's a better use of the property. You know, you had that huge side yard before, and now it kind of lets you optimize that in a respectful way for the neighborhood. So I like that it respects the primary structures. The larger one, the smaller one is kind of secondary, but still as important on that site. And the way that you work through everything is nice. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the project.
So, let's move to grant final approval with conditions. Move to grant a certificate of appropriateness for the drawings and documents presented at this public hearing in BLC 23-135 for the property located at 1708 4th Avenue with the following conditions: that the applicant works with staff to finalize color, door hardware, lighting, any site improvements such as fencing and pavers. Anything else?
AC.
AC unit locations. Anything else? All right. And then, because based on the finding of fact, the proposed project is consistent with the Ybor City Design Guidelines of the City of Tampa for the following reasons: that it conforms with the design criteria for new construction and additions for height and width, facade width, setback, spacing, alignment, similarity of details and forms, and building materials.
Second?
Second.
Okay. There's been a few conditions placed on this application
my mic.
before you. Is the applicant okay with these conditions as outlined?
Absolutely looking forward to working with staff. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
We're just like spacing off over here.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ron Vila, I'm staff with Historic Preservation. Moving to the next agenda item, which is BLC 23-138. This is for the address of 2104 East Columbus Drive. On the site, the majority of the site is an empty parcel, but there is a 1960 non-contributing structure there that will be demoed as part of this request moving forward. Staff will assist them with the removal of that structure. The zoning is YC5. And the request is for a certificate of appropriateness for new construction for 10 units multifamily structure with site improvements. Moving to the photo presentation. The property faces Columbus Drive, which in 1929 was Michigan Avenue. It is on the corner of 22nd Street that runs one way, and Columbus Drive runs one way as well, so it's a challenging corner parcel. There is an alley that will gain its refunction as part of the grid. So moving forward, we saw the last one that they're introducing the alley for vehicular access, and this one as well. So that's a positive within this urban environment. So there is a corner structure that's going to remain on the corner of 21st Street and Columbus Drive. It's a two-story store that is indicated on this 1929 Sanborn map, and it's obviously still there today. So from that structure to the east, then it'll terminate at 22nd Street. This is our vicinity map. Property in question is up here in the northeast corner of the district. Just looking at the parcel itself, this is a portion of it. This is the western half of the parcel, and I wanted to show the non-contributing 1960 structure here that will be removed as part of this request. Just a closer look at that structure. Going back to the site, and then completing the site. This is from Columbus Drive. You see there is some parallel parking once again to aid in this urban environment. All the parking will be done off the alley into this site. So this is Columbus Drive, and this is 22nd Street. This is looking at the parcel. It's kind of in a hole. They're going to have to bring some fill. Just wanted to bring that to your attention as well. This is the two-story structure. That is a contributing structure that flanks the corner of 21st Street and Columbus Drive. That is not part of this project, but you see this is a two-story structure, and as the agent comes forward, you'll see the undulation of the height of the request in front of you. And at this corner, at the western corner, there's a two-story structure, and it will terminate to a two-story structure. So that was brought into consideration as this project was being developed. This is looking down Columbus Drive. This is to the west. There's the structure we just talked about. This is looking at Columbus Drive to the east. As I stated, this is a one-way street heading out of town. Just looking at across the street, some of the architectural detailing that we have. This is looking down 22nd Street. This is back into Ybor City. And then just the condition of the alley, and the agent could touch upon the alley as he goes through his presentation. At this time, the agent could address the board.
We're clear, right? You guys can see? Yeah. Good morning, I'm Dontavius Pittman, the owner and partner on this project. This first slide here is our site plan. It's showing vehicular access on Columbus Drive entering the property on the west side of the property. And then we're going to use this driveway to feed us to our parking spaces. We provided enough parking for the 10 units. We have our dumpster enclosure here, which is aligned with the entrance of the property. And then we're gonna swing around to our exit, which is on North 22nd Street. We're also showing where we plan to place our condensing units on our property to service the apartment units. Next are the elevations. Let me see. Should I zoom out? Okay. Okay. All right, here up top is the south elevation. We're showing pretty consistent with the neighborhood. We're using hardy board siding. We're using brick on our porch. We're showing period consistent windows. And this is really just, this is the side facing Columbus. And I guess we're calling it our front, even though it's not our main entrance to the building. We wanted to, make it ornamental to the street, make it look nice from the back. So the bottom image here is our north elevation, which would be our main entrance for our residents. Still showing period consistent materials that we're using. And this one is interior to the property. Next, here are the west and east elevations. This elevation, the bottom one, I'm sorry, is what we're going to be seeing on 22nd Street north, and this one is going to be also interior to the property, still showing the period consistent materials. We tried to break up the east and west facade by using faux brick piers to give it some character. Here are some of the ideas we're thinking about for fenestration, period appropriate color, just a pop of color on our doors, our brick stem wall, and also just showing some of the materials that we're using, the lap siding and the shingle siding to mix it up. Here's some of our architectural details that we're going to be using, the lights we plan on choosing, some of our hardware, a railing detail, a window detail showing the details around how we plan on showing the windows, and our soffit detail showing our 2-foot overhang, which is consistent to the period. Here's a wall section detailing, well, here are 2 wall sections detailing the materials that we're going to use and how we plan on constructing this building. It's going to be straightforward. We're going to be using, we're going to frame the structure. We're going to be using trusses, hardy plank siding. We're going to have a stem wall that's going to show a period appropriate elevation, which will be 2 feet above grade. And we're also showing how we plan on detailing our overhang for our soffits. This is the elevation through our porch here. Just showing some more detailing about how we plan on constructing, showing also our overhang for our porch on the ground level, and showing the detailing for the railing. And here's a detail for our dumpster enclosure. We're just going to use a picket fence. We also plan on lining our property with a wood picket fence. So this is just showing how we plan on tying both of those together. These are floor plans that we plan on using, but I understand that it's not really pertinent to this presentation, so I'll conclude here.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ron Vila. Staff reviewed this on August 2nd and felt that it was consistent with the Ybor City design guidelines. Once again, on page 3 of the staff report, staff had some conditions that were addressed today. I think a little more detail discussion is needed. I'll start with the site plan, the setback from the front property line. There's some consistency along the block to the west that I think he's drawing inspiration from setting it back. So additional discussions showing the pattern will be respected along the corridor of Columbus Drive. Once again, staying on the site plan, he needs to illustrate where the mechanical units are gonna be located. All the hardscape, he's talked about the alley will be the access, talk about the surface material for the parking there, and then they do have a drive out coming off of Columbus Drive. The materials and the scoring should be discussed. The enclosure of solid waste, he provided some documentation on that. We talked amongst ourselves about introducing additional fencing on site. I don't know what the final solution for that is, but if he's gonna put some fencing on, it should be discussed this morning. I'm just going through my list here. Earlier drawings, there was no railing around the front porch, the one that faces Columbus Drive. Since there, he's put a more traditional picket railing in there, and it's illustrated properly, and it's below the cap on the piers in the front as well. He talked about cladding the piers and the piers along the foundation enclosure and the piers at the front. That material should be discussed here and presented. And then lastly, we had a concern that since Columbus Drive is the front of the project, that there should be a transition from the sidewalk with some kind of walkway to the front porch that was illustrated on the plans today. Although the main access will be off the parking off the back, you still don't want to not engage with the neighborhood from the front facade. So that was provided on the plans this morning. So if further discussion is needed, I'll be here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Padilla. We'll go ahead and ask questions.
So on the railing on the top, can you elaborate a little bit more on what you had thought and how you changed it?
On the top railing?
Yeah.
On the top floor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're just gonna, I'll show you. The top railing is just gonna be consistent. I mean, of course, it'll be code appropriate with 42 inches, but in the bottom will terminate lower than the cap, which because it's not really needed, it's just fenestration. But yeah, it's just gonna be consistent with all the other floors. They're gonna be pickets, and then we're gonna have a top rail.
Okay.
Could you bring up your site plan again?
Yep.
And so I just want to look, okay, so you do have marked the adjacent building to the west, so that setback for the front of the porches there on the first floor is in alignment with that building to the west there?
Yes.
Looks like. And then, let's see, what we have. And so when we had talked about Ron had mentioned some sort of connection from Columbus Drive or the sidewalk to the porches. Is that there? I'm not sure I can
Yeah,
read
sorry,
that.
it's small, but we do have an access. We created a path from the sidewalk to the unit, so there's a note here that says access to the porch.
Oh, okay, so there's the stairs there.
Yeah,
I kind of see,
there's
okay.
We've inset the steps onto the porch.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then the mechanical units are actually facing Columbus Drive there? They're set into the building?
Yes, so I don't see it illustrated here, but we do plan on showing a gate.
Okay, so it'll be screened?
Yes.
And then, so then that gate will be, would it match the railing with the porch? Is that what the plan is?
Yeah, and it's gonna be 4 foot high, not too, yeah.
Okay, going around. And so then your driveway is set when it goes out onto North 22nd. That's within the property parcel, right? So the alley is actually to the north of that. You're not
Correct.
improving the alley.
We're gonna be applying for a right-of-way permit to utilize the alley, not necessarily for vehicular access, but to maintain what's consistent with zoning for our backup width for parking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. And then let's see, could you pull up one of maybe the south elevation again? Let's take a look.
Here you go.
And then, so let's see, so we got your porch piers, you got your hardy, and could you talk about sort of the roof? I might have missed it. So at the top where it looks like you have sort of, it looks like maybe your shaker at the top and then maybe your roofing material?
Yes. You wanna talk about the roofing material?
Yeah, please.
Oh, yeah, we just plan on using asphalt shingles.
Asphalt shingles?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just have the shaker shingles at the top of the structure?
Yeah, the shaker shingles, just to kind of break up the facade,
Yeah, sure.
give some
Understood.
character to it.
And then, let's see. think, what's the other one? Could you bring up the, what is it, the east facade, the one that's facing 22nd?
Yes.
All right, yeah. So then your pier system, all that, shingles, roofs. Okay, and then finally, can we just go over the wall section in a bit more detail? And so it looks like you have your stem wall, slab on grade, and then you have, it's all wood framed, right?
Correct.
And then could you zoom in onto your window details there?
Yes. You want the section or the actual fenestration around the window?
The window, so the call out, so on the right side of the page
Gotcha,
there.
gotcha.
Great. Could you move, and then can we move down to the sill detail?
Yep.
Thank you. All right, great. And then your overhangs, are they about 2 feet or so?
On the east and west?
On the, sorry, the overhangs for the roof,
Yeah, which direction?
Oh,
So east and
yeah,
west, they're
yeah.
2 feet, yes.
2 feet, and then north and south are
I want to say they're less than 2 feet, about a foot.
a foot. And then are they open, excuse me, and then looking from the section, are they open rafter tails?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's all the questions I have for now.
One of the questions I have is, will the parallel parking in the front remain? Will that
Yes.
remain there?
Yes.
Okay. And then, can you put up the back, the back view?
Here we go. That's the north elevation.
Okay. So you've got units there and then your lighting, okay. Okay, that's all I wanted to check. Thank you.
So we can stay on this elevation. On the south elevation, which is your front, which faces Columbus, you're gonna put your AC units under those double windows?
Correct.
Am I reading that correct? You're gonna be able to get all 10 in there? The site plan looked like
It's only showing,
5.
yeah. So we're gonna have to still work that out. We need to get proper sizing from our engineers for what size units there are. When we have about 8 feet in between that little space, but we're gonna have to confirm if we can squeeze all of them right there.
Okay. And then you were talking about access to the porches. So in that little 8-foot wide space, you're coming in and then you're having stairs go up to the porches?
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna run out of space real quick there.
So
right?
the stairs they're inset to the porch, so they're probably 2 or 3 feet in the porch.
Okay,
But yeah, we have enough area for a walkway, and they can, yeah, turn.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I think traditionally that's the front facade of the building and you're like putting AC units out there, but it's Columbus, so I think that would be, appropriate. And I like let's go to actually, you wanna mention all your windows are 1/1s, except for some of the smaller ones, which I think is appropriate. The railing looks good, all the use of materials looks good here. What about the doors? What, do you have a blow-up of what the doors look like? It kinda looks like a screen door. Are there screen doors on top of the
Oh,
main doors, or?
No, there's no screen door. I think probably it was confusing is the swing direction is showing.
Okay,
Yeah, that's the triangle, but no, they're gonna be Craftsman style doors.
Craftsman style, so, it has a window on the upper side and a solid panel, 1 or 2 panels at the bottom?
2 panels, yes.
Okay, okay. Can you jump to your site plan?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so I see the stairs there. Okay, and I think from the previous drawings that we saw before, the dumpster enclosure looks like it's gotten reduced in size. You used to have 2 dumpsters in there, you're reducing it down to 1.
Yeah, the 2 dumpsters seemed a bit over excessive.
Sure.
So the one dumpster here that aligns with the interest of the property, you know, will make it easier for solid waste. And, yeah, we didn't need the two.
Okay, yeah, I agree. And to the left side of the site, that adjacent building, that's a historic structure that we saw in the picture, with the porch overhanging the road. So you're aligning with that front edge of the building as well as the porches align. I think it's a nice,
Yes.
takes a nice rhythm there. And those are some, where your driveway flares out, those are guest parking spaces, per se?
Yes, those guest parking spaces are along this.
So you have on-street parking, but over here in front of the dumpster, there's a couple kind of,
Like it
yeah.
looks
Like
like.
right here?
No,
Back towards the
up here.
dumpster,
Oh, over here.
to the left.
Over here?
Right, yeah.
I don't think we didn't plan on using those as guest parking. I'm sure they will be used as guest parking, but,
Yeah, I think you're meeting the minimum parking requirements, right? One space per unit, and then
Yeah.
if you have guests, you have on-street parking, and probably
Yeah.
people congregate over there too. And everything's one way. Okay. I think that's all I have for questions right now.
Finally, was there any other fencing besides what's going around the dumpster?
yes, so we're gonna have fencing, actually, she pulled it to the facade. So we're gonna separate from the two properties. So we're gonna separate, put a fence between, this property and the adjacent building. And, I don't think we plan on putting fence on North 22nd, but if it's, suggested, then we will.
There's the street there, so, so right now only plan between the property to the west and your parcel?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you go back to the rear elevation, the south elevation, or north elevation? One on the bottom. So the stairs, when you're going in to get to the upper units, you go in the stairs on the ground floor, then you go up. What's happening at the top of the stair on the third level, right there? That's all open, it's like a garden style walk-up apartment?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, you wanna see the floor plan, or?
No, I'm wondering what's happening in that, at the top of the stairs, just open and you're gonna be able to trim that out, I guess, with
Yep.
the fascia board?
Yep.
In the space in between the middle of the two, what's happening there? Cause you don't have a stair there,
Here,
yeah.
let me see, the intent was here.
I mean, I think you'd treat it the same way as the two stairs.
Yes, so I think that space might actually be eliminated.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna end up being a solid wall there.
Yep.
Okay. And you said the fencing was 4 feet high, the dumpster enclosure and typical on the property?
No, not the dumpster enclosure. The dumpster enclosure fence, I think it's gonna be 6. I was saying that we're gonna put a 4-foot gate for that walkway,
Okay,
at the entrance for the walkway, to sort of screen what's behind. Yeah, it's gonna be 6 feet.
okay. Any other questions? Okay, we've asked some questions of you. We're gonna close the public hearing pretty soon. Do you have a few minutes if you want to say anything, summarize your comments or rebut anything, and then we'll close the public hearing?
I just want to say that we follow closely with staff to make this building period appropriate. It'll also be used as affordable housing. So we're very excited to do this project in the historic district.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and close the public hearing. Any discussion amongst ourselves?
It's a very nice project. Needed, badly needed.
Yeah.
very, very dense. That's hitting all the marks. Very nice.
I agree, it's a great looking project, be great for the city. There's some small details, like, well, I'm not sure, working out the AC units might be a pretty big detail. But, for enough of the units for the AC, but I think, they could maybe, if they have to, kind of squeeze some on the north side as well. I mean, it might not be nice at the entry to the doors or something like that, but, you know, that's a little out of view from Columbus and all that kind of stuff, but I think they might be forced to kind of end up doing that with the space constraints they kind of have. But I think they can work that through with staff as well.
Where it's where that driveway curves, there's a
Yeah,
little bit
there's
of
some
land right
space
there.
between
you
the
can
park, they needed some
put
land
there.
between the, or
And
the
that
setback
might be
between the
fenced.
parking and the parking in the front of the building anyway, so.
That's obviously,
Yeah.
you know, I think the applicant has been working with staff quite well on getting the design here and, yeah, I like what you've done here. I mean, it's a tricky site. I mean, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, between all the roads, and you've made a really nice project in here that brings 10 more units, and I think you checked all the boxes. I think it's a really nice project. It's good looking, especially to kind of take that garden style apartment and make it more like Ybor, you know, which is really nice.
And it's a tough intersection.
Yes. Yep. Okay, I don't have any other.
All right, sure. Put this together, so for a final approval with conditions, move to grant certificate of appropriateness for the drawings and documents presented at this public hearing in BLC 23-138 for the property located at 2104 East Columbus Drive with the following conditions: that the applicant work with staff to finalize AC locations for the building, that the applicant work with staff to finalize exterior materials, colors, lighting, also just the exterior elevations which will likely be enclosed on the third floor, closed off, that's no longer open. And then any last thing, I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
And the applicant work with staff to finalize fencing for the property as well.
Obviously, solid waste and transportation for the site plan
And,
for the city.
Yeah, and the applicant work with solid waste and transportation for both the dumpster and the right-of-way to finalize the driveway around in the property as well. Because based on the finding of fact, the proposed project is consistent with the Ybor City design guidelines of the City of Tampa for the following reasons: it meets the design criteria for new construction and additions based on height and width, facade width, setback, spacing, alignment, similarity of details and forms, and building materials.
Second.
All in favor of said motion? Well, yeah, there's a few conditions placed on you to work with staff on it. Is the applicant acknowledge that those conditions are acceptable?
Yes.
The applicant has acknowledged, and all in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, nice project. And one more item on our agenda today. We've got some staff approvals and all the documents and exhibits that were discussed today, if they could be admitted into the record.
Yeah, motion to move the BFC staff approvals for July 2023.
Second.
All in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye.
Approved, motion carries. Seeing no business before us, we are adjourned. Thank you all.